Well, if inflation hasn't completely destroyed you and your family by now, it's actually a really awesome time to buy a bike. And that's why I wanted to talk about one of my absolute favorite bikes I've ever owned, the Intense 951 XC. You can actually get this bike right now at Bikes Online for 1,900 bucks. So I wanted to do a quick video on everything I love about this bike. If you've been watching our channel for a long time, you've seen this bike plenty of times. I've done videos on it. I've had personal tragedies with this bike, but I love this thing. I push this thing to its absolute limits. The reason I picked this up is because I got to a point where just owning one trail bike was not doing the trick anymore. I had 150 mil trail bikes. I was like, I only need one bike. And that one trail bike would end up being too slow on the XC and not enough on the Enduro trails. So I finally bit the bullet. I have my Specialized Stump Jumper Evo for the Enduro gnarly stuff, and I got this thing for my cross country and trail riding. And I gotta tell you guys, this bike's unbelievable. Let's get into it. Before I get too far into the video, make sure you hit that like button and subscribe to our channel. We're really trying to build this thing up and we got great momentum going. Also, I'm including a Bikes Online link in the description if you want to check out the 951 XC for yourself. Purchasing through that link will help out the channel too, and we greatly appreciate it. Oh. Man, feels so good to be talking about mountain bikes again. I just feel like I've been doing gravel videos non-stop. Nothing wrong with gravel. I think gravel's a lot of fun, but man, I'm missing mountain bikes right now. And that's why we're gonna talk about my favorite bike, the Intense 951 XC. Well, obviously this thing needs a bath, but as you can see, I ride this thing a lot, and also it's heavily modded. You're going to tell this is not a stock bike. There's nothing wrong with it in stock form. I just, acquired tons of good parts. I like testing parts, and I've turned this thing into an absolute super machine in my opinion. So the bike itself's 120 mil fork in the front, 120 mil travel in the rear, full carbon frame. That's where one of these tragedies come in. If you've seen some of my other videos, I did have to do my own homemade carbon repair on here. There's a video of that. Not the bike's fault. My fault. Rock strike, slid out, rock cracked the frame. My homemade carbon repair is doing awesome, by the way, if you're wondering. I think the thing that I love about this bike the most is how much confidence I feel while riding it. Most 120 mil bikes don't let you do the things that I do to this thing. I've hit some absolutely insane jumps on it. I've gone through rock gardens that bikes like this probably shouldn't be doing. But it handles it super good. And it's one of those things where right when I'm entering it, I'm like, Colin, remember what kind of bike you're on. And then I make it through, I'm like, huh. Unbelievable. This thing, what can't this thing do? You're probably wondering, is there anything I don't like about this bike? And in stock form, there were some things that were a little bit meh. One being the SRAM NX drivetrain. It's come a very long ways. The drivetrain is fine. It's just, there's better budget drivetrains, mostly Shimano, in my opinion. The sizing. The reach isn't the greatest. I am 5'9", this is a medium. I generally always ride mediums. If I could, I would have went for a large just to get the extra reach. It would make swapping between my Stumpy and this feel a little more natural. The good thing about it being on the smaller side though, with my BMX background, it is very, very nimble and playful. So I do kind of like that about it. So when I bought this bike, it was $3,000 at Costco, which I thought for a full carbon bike is a halfway decent deal. I didn't pay that. I paid $2,500 from a guy who bought the wrong size. I thought that was an unbelievable deal for a bike that had almost no miles on it. And now you can get this bike for under $2,000 from Bikes Online, which is bonkers. Seriously, if you need a bike, you want to upgrade, I highly suggest the XC. If you want a little more travel, go with the trail. There's a lot of content creators doing videos on the 951 trail right now. My buddy Run Bike Mike has one, and he's doing some videos. He seems pretty impressed by it. I have not ridden that bike yet. I'd like to, I suppose, but like I said, I'm not really in the market for trail bikes these days, but I can't suggest these enough. If you have some questions, hit me up in the comments section or on our Instagram page. I love hearing from you guys, and I try to respond to most of the comments. If you want to do some more research on your own, I have quite a few videos of this bike up on the channel, including a back-to-back comparison Andy and I did on the 951 XC and the YT Izzo,
as well as the homemade carbon repair job I did to the rear triangle. To check the current price of the 951, hit that Bikes Online link in the description and make sure you subscribe to the channel.
Oh! Where did you think it looks better?
Well, I was just kind of picturing in my mind, you know, things that I've seen you do, and this is one thing in particular that it looks the best from behind.